This video right here is long overdue. I was meant to do this a very long time ago. Um, Title's probably gonna be like lessons that I learned from my 20th birthday. It's been like 2 months since like my 20th birthday, so a bit late, but regardless, better late than never. I wrote some stuff down for this, and I wasn't planning on making this video now. I was gonna delay it even further, but I was just sitting at home and I was watching a YouTube video that I thought was very beneficial. And what I realized was all he was doing was just speaking to the camera whilst he was walking outside. There was no fancy edits. There was none of that stuff, no lighting, no just him talking to the camera. And despite the fact that the quality in terms of like visually wasn't there, he was saying some really interesting stuff, and I found it very beneficial. So I was like, you know what? I'm at home right now. I've had this script ready for a bit. I might as well just talk to the camera, get this video done, because I wanted to share this information for a while, but I feel like the resistance that we place on things often halts us, like having to feel like things need to be perfect. So like if you look at my other videos, the lighting is calm. I made sure to like edit the videos. I made sure to like make sure I look good, because I'm gonna be speaking in front of a camera, you know what I mean? It's gonna go on the internet, so. But I feel like things like that can halt you from doing the things that you want to do, like feeling the need to have things be perfect. Be like it needs to be in the perfect way, in the perfect time, perfect place, or else I just can't do it. And I feel like that's wrong, and it often halts us. So, in light of that, I might as well just start going through the list of the things that I learned from my 20th birthday. And what I mean by like my 20th birthday, it's not just on the day of my birthday, even though there's a lesson from that. It's more so going from 19 to 20, and during that year, all the lessons that I learned. So the first one was actually something that happened on my birthday. So to give you the backstory to it, it was Jummah in uni, right? This is the week before my birthday. So my birthday was on a Friday. This is the Friday before that. We went to pray Jummah, and the like small prayer room was filled up, so there was like a hall that we can go pray in. And what happened is like the microphone cut off right before Salah ended. So the next week, we were like, we have to go early because I'm not trying to go through that again. So I go there, we go early. I go to the small prayer room, this place that you can put your shoes, little like shoe rack. I put my white Air Force, and I love my white Air Forces. They're always like, I bought them in the summer and I kept them in pristine condition. Like they looked brand new. Like I love my white Air Forces, right? But I didn't think nothing of it. I just put my white Air Forces there, boom. Went about my business, prayed. After Salah, I stayed for like a little bit, just taking time, just enjoying the moment. I got up and I was walking out. I was gonna go get my shoes, go about my day. It was on my birthday, right? So I look at the shoe rack, and instantly I knew. I was like, yeah. I looked, it was gone, and I was just standing there like, what can I do? Because I don't have no shoes. So I was just standing there, looked at the shoe rack. There's no shoe. I didn't even like take time to really even look around the place, because it was only like I know my shoes, right? So I saw it. It was meant to be there. It wasn't there. I think I looked at like another place quickly, but like the shoes were gone. So I stood there, asked some of the brothers like, what's happening, lads? They didn't have nothing to say. I put it in the group chat. Nobody had nothing to say. And in the end, a friend of a friend bought me shoes. I appreciate that, brother. And obviously I got clowned by my boys, but it is what it is. So that's a lesson though, innit? There's a couple of lessons in that though. There's a funny story, but there's lessons in that. For one, all the brothers, because I've seen this happen now. Now that I've experienced it myself, I've seen this happen. guys go with decent shoes to Jummah or like some type of big congregational prayer, and somebody mixes it up with someone else's shoes and just they don't have shoes no more. And I've legit seen this happen now because I'm like hypersensitive to this, and I've seen it happen to other guys. So if you're gonna go Jummah, bring like a bag, or if you're not gonna bring a bag, bring like some shoes which like if it gets lost or somebody like mistakes it for their shoes, it's not that big of a deal because it's cheap. And the second lesson is like there's no way I could have predicted that was gonna happen. It was like not in a billion years would I have predicted that would happen, but in the end it happened. And that was kind of like a theme for my year from like 19 to 20, like constantly things that I would have never seen happened. And it's just like it's been a trend like just across my life. Like I grew up in Sweden in a small town, and I moved to a different town, then I moved to the UK, then I moved to a different city. It's just like, and even like the backstory of my parents and how they grew up. Like life is just, it's just been so full of change and just like unpredictability. So yeah, man, that's crazy still. So to all the brothers, bring like a bag, or just be conscious of where you put your shoes, and don't bring nice shoes, man. Okay, the second thing is, I kind of touched on this, but time passes very, very quickly, and I noticed it this year. Because I remember the second I turned 19, I remember like on my 19th birthday, I was like, I'm gonna make these changes, and I can't wait till I'm 20, because I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, raw. Like I made massive improvements in my life, and I did, and I'm very happy about that. But what I didn't realize is that time just flies. Like time flies. I remember starting uni, 18 years old, starting uni, and now I'm almost going into my third year, which is insane. Like it feels like time is just flying by. But there's a good thing about that as well. The good thing I learned this year was, say you want to start a good habit, you might look up and be like, oh, it's gonna take time for me to build this habit. It might, and it's in popular culture, it says like, I think it said like 28 days or like 27 days or something, 30 days to start a habit, which isn't true. It's closer to 66. But people look at that like 66 days to start a habit. Oh, it's a bit long. And in the end, they don't start the good habit. But what they don't realize is those 66 days or however long it takes flies by. It flies by. So what happens is you start doing these good habits that you know you should be doing, and the time just flies by. And you look up one day and your life is just significantly better. So you made, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I found it within myself. Like one of the things I've done was like the second I turned like 19, I started lifting weights, and I just, within like 6 months, I saw like a massive improvement in my physique, which was amazing. It like gave me lots of confidence. I really liked it, right? But the thing was, like the day-to-day habit of just going to the gym, lifting, eating more food, etc., just becomes part of your day. It becomes part of your day, so you quickly just adopt this habit. It becomes part of you. It's like second nature to you. But because it's a good habit, you look up and your life is improving. You're getting better. So that's just an amazing thing. So whilst time flying, you can look at it in a sad way, just time's passing by me, but I like to look at it a different way. Time flying just means all my goals and all the things that I want to achieve, it's going to come by. It's going to come by quick. So as long as I set out to do the things that I want to do, and I do it like day in, day out, and I have that discipline to do it day in, day out, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before I look up and I would have check those things that I wanted to do. And secondarily to that, the thing is, say you listen to what I just said and be like, okay, 66 days to start a habit and it's going to improve my life, etc. But 66 days to me is still a long time. The thing is, and I read a comment one day that I really, really liked, and it said, if you're worried about how long something takes, don't worry, because the time is going to go by anyways. Like, whether you decide to take on good habits and try to improve your life, or you don't, that time will go by regardless. So if the time is going to go by regardless, you might as well take time out to utilize the time that was going to pass anyways. That time was going to pass anyways. You might as well just utilize it to improve your life. I think that's only fair. Fair to yourself and fair to the people around you that put like resources your way. Like, your parents took care of you, hopefully. I mean, you're alive, you still, so you might as well improve your life. And even if it's not for yourself, you might as well improve your life, because I don't know, I feel like in a way you owe it to other people to be better. Even if you don't believe in yourself, like, other people do believe in you. And if you think about it and you just think, no, nobody around me believes in me, etc. Your ancestors fought, like they went to war to defend like the women and children within the village, which eventually like brought forth your forefathers. So they basically died for you to be in the position that you are now. So I believe in the very least it's like no one around you that you feel like you should better yourself for. You owe it to them. Okay, next point. Once again, I touched on this, but like, I don't know if I can emphasize this point more, but I found like 19 to 20, life is so unpredictable, man. Life is so unpredictable. Like, I don't even know where to start, man. I don't even know where to start, but life is so unpredictable. And you really, there's only so much you can control, you know what I mean? In your own life. There's only so much you can control, like the day-to-day stuff. You can try to make effort towards that, but in the macro picture, there's always like things that you would have never expected come your way that you just have to like try and handle. And for me, I like being like calculated and having everything set out and trying to keep all the variables in control so I can set out my plan in like a rigid way. But life isn't like that though. So that's a lesson for me. Like, life is extremely unpredictable. And like me, I'm pretty rigid. Like, I like doing things in my way and like having things structured out and things of that nature, but life is rigid. So I feel like there's a major skill in being able to adapt. I feel like that's a super major skill, and I feel like that's something that isn't touched on enough. It's people that continue to speak about discipline, but I don't think they speak about adapting enough. Being able to adapt to your environment. So I feel like for me, that's one of the things that I really need to work on, because if an obstacle comes my way and disrupts it, I should be able to find a way to maneuver around it and still be able to do the tasks that I set out for the day, because life is unpredictable. So instead of being annoyed at the fact that you can't control the variables in life which cause it to be unpredictable, because that's completely out of your control. The emphasis should be placed on what you can control. And one of the things you can control is how you react to things. It's an interesting quote, like, I think I heard one time. It's like 10% of things in life. I think I read it in like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. 10% of things in life is what occurs to you, like what actually happens to you in the life circumstances, and like 90% is gonna be how you react to it. So you're still in control of your life, but there's variables that inevitably you can never control. So rather than being in like a state of like, what's the point, and just giving up, finding a way to adapt to be able to still achieve the things that you want to achieve regardless of changing circumstances is a major skill. And that's one of the things that I learned that I need to improve on, and I learned the importance of that in this year. And I might as well just start reading a bit of the things that I said, that I wrote down for myself. And one of the things that I said was, life is full of constant change day in, day out, and oftentimes the people who become the most successful in whichever endeavor they pursue are the people who are consistent in the long term. And in order to be consistent in the long term, you must be able to adapt to the constantly changing circumstances. And that in itself is a major skill. So it's not the survival of the fittest, but rather the survival of the most adaptable, which in the end wins the race. And I said, and strongly linked to this is the mindset associated with a person who encompasses this ability to adapt ever-changing circumstances. And that's the mindset of no excuses. And that is so true. Like, you want to be in a situation where, regardless of your circumstances, you have this mindset of no excuses. Like, regardless of the things that happen to you, if you set out to do something for the day or the week or the month, and you have certain goals, regardless of the things that come your way, you set out to achieve it. And there's always like a cliche quote, like, where there's a will, that there's a way. And that's so true, though. That is so true. It's probably one of the reasons it's so cliche. Like, it's so true. Like, if you really, really want something, like, if you truly want something, you're gonna go and get it. If there's like a lion chasing you, like, I doubt many people would just stop and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna give up. Like, he can probably outpace me. It is what it is. I'm just gonna have to take the L and die. Nobody's gonna do that. Like, you're gonna run. You're gonna make an effort. Like, you're gonna try. You're gonna run faster than you've ever run in your entire life. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you, like, Usain Bolt is beating his 100-meter record was in that moment that there's a lion chasing him. And I feel like that's the same for life. Like, if you truly, truly want something, like, if you really, really want something, regardless of the circumstances around you that make it difficult for you to pursue whatever is that you want to pursue, you're gonna pursue it, and you're gonna put a lot of effort towards it. And I feel like when people claim that they really, really want something, I believe observing their actions speaks far louder than words. Because, like, talk is cheap, you know what I mean? So if you yourself have told yourself that you really want to pursue something, there's something that you really want to achieve, and it's super important to you, and no matter what, you're going to chase your dreams, etc., etc. If that's what you say to yourself, to see if it's true, just analyze your day, analyze your time. Where does your time go? If you set out to be, like, I don't know, like the best boxer or something, look at where you spend your time. If you're spending 7 hours on your phone watching TikTok on a daily basis and saying that you want to be a boxer, and you barely go into training, etc., etc. It doesn't matter what you say. It's based on the time period. It's based on how you spend your time. How you spend your time determines what you value. So, where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? So, I feel like having that mindset of like just never giving up and just not making excuses is going to make you a person who's very adaptable. When you become very adaptable and very consistent, anything you set out to achieve, you will achieve. So that's one of the things that I learned. Oh, and this is an interesting point. But also said that in a similar token, you have to balance this out with realistic bouts of effort. And I said, it's much better to train for an hour in the gym 6 days a week than for you to train 12 hours in the gym in one day every 3 weeks. And you often have people that will come and be like, you know what, it's time to change my life. This year, I'm gonna make $1 million by the end of the year. Watch, bro. I'm gonna make $1 million at the end of the year. Watch me. And the guy doesn't even have a job, you know what I mean? You're not earning a penny at the moment. But don't watch, man. You're gonna see for yourself. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna make $1 million at the end of the year. And profit though. Profit post-tax as well. But you have to set realistic standards. And you have to set realistic standards that you can achieve. And the really good thing is when you do that, you build confidence. Because if you set out to, let's go back to the gym analogy. You set out to go gym only twice a week for an hour. And you do that for like 6 months. You set a goal and you achieved it. That builds confidence. And now you be like, okay, calm. Like I can go twice a week for an hour. I can bump it up to 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And you have the confidence to do that, and you build the habit up, so it's not going to be as difficult. So, like, time is, obviously time flies by, but that's kind of on your side. So start out with something small, something achievable, because that builds your confidence up. And it's going to be integral to achieving whatever you want to achieve. And confidence is another big thing as well, you know. Like, believing that you're going to achieve something. Like, truly believing that you're going to achieve something. Alongside, like, having the habits formed. Like, that's hard to beat, man. And, like, at 5 a.m., I was watching Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya, the second MMA fight, right? And, you know, Izzy got the knockout. It was an amazing fight. But I remember in the first fight, Alex Pereira, to the surprise of a lot of people, he beat Israel Adesanya in the 5th round. And he said something really, really interesting in the post-fight interview. He said, and I just, when I found this out, I saved the video and I've listened to it like 1 billion times. And he started out by saying, it was written. Like, I knew I was going to win. It was written. And that's so powerful, man. That is so powerful. That level of like self-belief to the point where you think, you believe that this is destiny. Like, this is bound to happen. Like, without question, this will happen. But you can't just have that belief by itself. And he continued the post-fight interview, and he said he was speaking about how hard he was working in the camp and how he was ready to fight for 4 rounds, 5 rounds. And to the surprise of a lot of people, he did do that, and he won in the 5th round. So you can't just have the belief, that really strong belief in yourself. It has to be coupled with a discipline to match. But when you have that combination of true self-belief, where you truly believe you can achieve things, like in this case, like Alex Pereira, where he literally said it was written, like destiny that he was going to win, coupled with the hard work and the sacrifice. Like, that's hard to beat, man. That is really, really hard to beat. So when you have that level of self-belief, it's only a matter of time before you start achieving the things that you want to achieve. And at that point, you can set big goals. Because with that level of self-confidence, coupled with the discipline, you can literally achieve anything you want. And like, going back to talking about consistency, the analogy that we can use here is classically the turtle and the hare. Even though, like, the turtle is like unable to match the speed of the hare, the consistency in the end is what wins it. Consistent bouts of effort, day in, day out, it's gonna be bursts of intensity. And the thing is, a lot of people do bursts of intensity. They feel very motivated for like a day, and they go all out and be like, you know what, I'm gonna chase my dreams, I'm gonna start this business. And for like a day, they're working super hard, but by the end, they're completely destroyed. And it's going to take another 3 weeks for them to regain their energy, regain the motivation which they require, because they don't have the discipline. And then, and only then, are they going to be able to go back to working on their dream. You know what I mean? So rather than doing that, spend an hour a day doing the things that you want to do, or things that you want to achieve, or half an hour. Just be consistent with it. Consistency in the long run is what wins. And we've already talked about how time is like on your side regarding this, right? Time's on your side. Like, the time is gonna pass regardless. We've accepted that, and the time flies. So the time's gonna go by regardless of what you do, and time flies. So it's only a matter of time until you achieve the things that you want to achieve. So to close with that point, I wrote that, therefore, consistent bouts of effort in a given domain with the ability to adapt to ever-changing circumstances, coupled with the mindset of no excuses, is what ultimately breeds success. So, in my opinion, after what I learned this year, if I could try to find like a formula to achieve anything that you want to achieve, any type of success in any type of domain, it's consistent bouts of effort within that domain, coupled with the ability to adapt to changing circumstances, alongside a mindset of no excuses, but the ability to adapt in ever-changing circumstances, with mindset of no excuses is like the same thing. So I believe the formula is consistent bouts of effort with the ability to adapt breeds success. This video is getting quite long, man, so I'm gonna have to just run through this. I wrote a lot of stuff. Yeah, I wrote tons of stuff. I wrote so much stuff. So I'm gonna just have to leave this at like a part 1 and carry on another time. Yeah, I wrote tons of stuff. So yeah, I guess this is part 1. There might be like 2-3 parts to this. So without further ado, it's your boy Abdurrahman. I don't know how consistent I'll be with this specifically right now, because it's Ramadan and I got exams coming up, but very soon inshallah I'll be uploading quite a bit, and stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for fitness content, not on this channel but on another channel, and IG and TikTok and so on, inshallah, coming soon. So stay tuned for that. Not now, just need to get my exams done out of the way, not long left anyways, like a month. So patience inshallah. So hopefully this was beneficial to at least someone. Without further ado, it's your boy Abdurrahman. Salam.
إن أردتم أن تكونوا شامة بين الورى فاقتفوا آثار جيل للمعالي سطرا. إن أردتم أن تكونوا شامة بين الورى فاقتفوا آثار جيل